Here I have for sale a 2022 Arctic Fox 275L. This rig has never been used, never been cooked in, never been smoked in, never been slept in. The black and gray tanks are clean enough to drink out of. There's absolutely nothing ever been used in here. I've done a couple modifications that I will show you. Let's do a quick walk around. There's 10,544 watt hours of batteries already mounted to this without, like I said, without utilizing any of the storage space. It's a smaller rig. It's a great couples rig. It's got a lot of ground clearance for boondocking. A lot of ground clearance for boondocking. And it's got a off-road certified frame, one of the toughest frames in the business. So you don't have to worry about flame frecks like that flame frecks issue that Grand Design's been having problems with and some other makers. This is a very, very robust rig built with really, really quality materials. And it's been sitting here for 3 years. We should have been gone this year, but I got 4 aneurysms, spots on my lungs. 8 months after we bought this, my job as an engineer, I was a plant engineer for many years for my company. They restructured me out of a job. So between that and all the health issues I had, I couldn't even get up working on this thing for a couple of years. And the nail in the coffin was my wife. She's got really bad arthritis, but now this last year they diagnosed her with what they call lupus, and she can't even go in the sun without breaking out in really bad hives and stuff. She just gets real blotchy, so she can't even be exposed to the sun. And we don't have the kind of money to keep this just to use it once or twice a year. We bought this exclusively for boondocking. I was going to winterize it and pull the belly. It's a 4 seasons rig, but I was going to make it even better so we can be in sub-zero weather. You know, use that 2-inch foam board and just really seal everything up underneath. But you know, I'm going to lose my ass on this, but we got to sell it. We just can't afford to keep something like this. We don't have that kind of money. Here's a rack I got that I built. That's not welded together. It's just stuck together right now. The plan was to bolt those to the frame, put these back on, weld them in place, get everything nice and level back here, weld it in, take it back off, have it powder coated. Then I got toolboxes that go with this, and that was to give us extra storage. There's a 6-foot aluminum toolbox that was going to be mounted. You got to take the bottom of that ladder off. Aluminum box will go underneath here. It's a 6-footer, so we go from there to there, and then the 4-footer will go on top of that, and that would give you a place to store like your shore power cord or your sewer stuff, all the nasty stuff you don't want in your rig. You don't want it through the pass-through or anything. Just keep all out. Give you extra storage for the stinky stuff, garbage, your sewer stuff, etc. Give you a quick tour of the inside. Well, actually, let's go over here real quick. Comes with the Starlink, a brand new Honda generator, all them charge controllers, all these Victron components. It's a Servo GX, which is the computer that connects all these things together, makes them communicate, and so your charging is optimal. That's a touch 70 screen. There's a protective cover on those little blotches of a piece of plastic on there. These are Blue Sea disconnects. These are some more disconnects for the solar. You got crimps, got switches, lighted switches, so you can remotely shut these power converters off. These are 24 volt to 12 volt converters, because the batteries, the inverter we got, the 24 volt Victron Multiplus-II by 120, but it takes 24 volts, lets you use smaller wire, you know, 2-aught instead of 4-aught. That's wire for the 120 going to the inverter and then back to the breaker panel. This is a hydraulic crimper, some crimps. Small crimps. Is a hydraulic crimper here for making your own wires to finish this project off. We've got a soft start here. This is a soft start RV soft start. Even though I've watched YouTube videos where you can run a 15K air conditioner off the Honda without it stalling out, it's better to have the soft start to do that. This is an RV lock that comes with it. I haven't installed it, like I said. I could barely breathe telling you all this stuff here. I just don't have it in me. There's a lot of miscellaneous fuses and stuff in there for the solar. Those are Z back brackets for the solar panel. X chocks for the wheels. These are tire monitoring sensors that can be mounted in. If you have a truck like mine, that truck there, you can program it on your trailer screen. It'll read all these just like it does the tires on the truck, so you don't need a separate screen to watch that. This is for putting on the slides. You stick it on there, it helps flip the seals. If you notice that bedroom slide, they had that one seal still pulled in. You put these on the top and the sides, it'll roll them seals over when it goes in and out. So you ain't got to go there by hand. This is a small air compressor. This is just some extra copper mesh I had that I've used for plugging up any holes to keep mice out of it. Miscellaneous sewer stuff. This here's a macerator pump. The brand is Sparse or Sprance, whatever it is. You can pump your black tank out through a 3/4 inch hose with that. This is just a leveling thing you can put on mounted on the front of the fifth wheel. So when you're backing up, it gets you pretty close to level, so you ain't gotta put a bunch of boards under your wheels and stuff. These are meant here to hook a big 6-inch PVC pipe, so you can store all your sewer hoses and stuff in it. Mounts this to the frame. It's a real big tube you can mount stuff. It doesn't have to be your hoses. There's one in the back. It comes with that cheap sewer hose. Anyway, let's look inside real quick. Oh. All right, this is the second video I tried. Anyway, this is what the slides in. You can utilize this whole RV while you're traveling. Have access to everything with those drawers right there. This cupboard here, even though you can sneak in and grab it, I guess you can use that one. And there's a big pantry back here. Same as the bathroom. You have access to the bathroom. Shower. And the bedroom. I also mounted a TV in here. Let's run this slide out. It's important to hold that, make sure it's all the way out, and hold it for a couple seconds so those motors stay in sync. Same thing as when you run it in. And when you run it in, you want to make sure that snap is on there. If you try to shut it with that door closed, you will ruin it. Little storage back in here. A nice drawer down here. Again, everything is pristine and this has never been used. Still has that new RV smell to it. Let's go back out. I'll run this slide out. Let's run the slide out here. Well, that's running out. You got tank heaters here. One for the fresh, one for the gray, one for the black. Then you got another tank heater for the gray tank for the kitchen. They use super heavy rubber seals on this thing. That's why it makes so much noise, but they're really thick and they're a real pain to try to flip out. That's why I showed you that plastic stuff to help flip them out. Anyway, there's quite a bit of room in this sucker when it's open, but as you can see, you don't even need to have the slides out to utilize this. This is a brand new, I took out the absorption fridge that came with this, sold it brand new, sold it to someone else. I didn't want to deal with an absorption fridge. This is a Norcold, I think it's a Norcold N10 DC. It's a compressor refrigerator. I just turned it on before. I tried to make a video before and all of a sudden it stopped on me. This is a new video. I just turned it on just to show you how quiet this thing is. It is like a whisper. You can't even hear it. It's running right now because I just turned it on about 20 minutes ago. This is where I wanted to mount that Touch 70 for the Victron equipment. And you have to go on some of those sites. The guys fished the wires underneath here and came up. But that would be the best spot for it. Otherwise, you have to do it here or on the side here. Let's go back out and show you the storage. Again, there's already 4 SOK 206 amp hour marine batteries mounted on this thing. And see if you can guess where they're at. Here's the pass-through. On this side, here you have the big tanks. These are called 40 pounders. One of them's empty. When we first got it the first winter, I did run the furnace for 5 days. I wanted to see how this thing can handle it. But it ran for 5 days before one of those tanks was empty. And the daytime highs were around 17, 18 degrees, and the nights got down to 5 or 6 degrees. Let's open this up. 4 aux blocks. I bought the wrong ones when I first bought them. So then I bought another 8, 9, 10. There's 12 aux blocks maxes that go with this. That's $600 alone just for those things. It's pre-wired for a generator. You can mount that Honda right in there, get an exhaust extension, use it to charge your batteries up. In 6 hours, those batteries will be charged up completely in about 6 hours and 15 minutes while you're driving down the road. And you have enough battery there to run that refrigerator alone for 8 days. If you run the Starlink, the refrigerator and the furnace, you're probably going to be about 3 days with no solar at all. But of course, you're going to run the AC, you're going to have to use that generator. Otherwise, those batteries will be depleted in 6 hours. But let's go here. The other side is just a short power cord, spray nozzle for your outdoor shower. Trying to do all this one hand. Hope I got this locked, but that's just where your outdoor shower is, and your switches and stuff for winterizing it, hooking up the water, you know, when you're at a campsite for water. Now you see that, how this is, these are really thick, but you put that stripping on here and it'll roll this out. You ain't got to go wrong and do that by hand. Got this tree here. The reason we got the dinette, because you have access to it outside and you got storage. This pull up the cushion, this lifts right off. You can put an Instapot in here. The other side you could have like a air fryer. Just gives you extra storage. Everything about this we bought for boondocking and have the extra storage. Again, this extension was meant to mount up, bolt those sides on, weld these cross members on there, get everything level, unbolt it, send it out for powder coating. I'll show you the 2 toolboxes that go with this. Once I come back, I'll show you where the batteries and the inverter are. There's the 2 toolboxes that get mounted on there. And there's the 4 400 watt Rich Solar monocrystalline solar panels. I'll give you a label. These are the highest quality panels you can get. Again, if you want all 4 of those up on the roof, you have to build a rack. It's just the way that roof's designed. But 2 of them you can just toss up there with those Z brackets and have them mounted in a couple hours. Well, let's go see that refrigerator. Let you hear how loud it is. It is whisper quiet. I just got it installed yesterday. Me and my wife had a hell of a time. Like I said, I'm out of breath right now just talking. My COPD is killing me. But there's the fridge. Mounted here. I left room here. This is an 11 gauge piece of steel. Because this fridge is mounted on legs, with the fridge that came out of here was on sleds, or like slides. so all the weight was way to the edges. So I put this piece of steel in here to distribute the weight to the edges. You could put 120 pounds of dead center on this, and the deflection is just a hair over an 1/8 inch according to calculations, so this works perfect. So I left this open so you can have 2 holes. Run your wires up where the vent is. Can you hear that? It's very, very silent. So for your solar panels, you just run it up. Actually drop your wires from that vent up there, but I'll take that vent off, put an aluminum plate over that, and then have your wire glands connected to the aluminum plate. Drop your wires down and go to your charge controllers. Down to the batteries, which are right here. This is a powder coated box. I built this box, sent it out, had it powder coated. It's air actuated, pneumatically actuated. Pull this out. We'll take the bolts out first. I got the bolts out. So you got a couple here and a couple on the other side. Take the bolts out. And there's your 10,544 watt hours of SOK marine grade batteries. Each one of those are a 206 amp hour marine grade battery, SOK. Yeah, I'll give you the, so you can look them up. I paid almost $900 for them when I got them a couple years ago. Now they're like $575. Now these wires I got in here, number one, they're too small to be running. Okay, the only reason these wires are on here to keep the batteries in balance. Okay, I showed you that Victron stuff over there. There's 2 battery balancers over here. So you'd mount one here, then you got your 3 wires for the battery balancer. You put one here, one here, one here, and it keeps these balanced. Same as this one over here. And then those, what do they call them? The bus bars. You put like your hot here and your negative here. Run one of your hots here, this hot to here, and then the middle stud, you'd come up over to here to go to your the other side of your shunt. Same as here, you got your negative. Just run them up. You run one here, and one from here to there, and then another. So you have 2 wires coming up. Up in the top there's your Victron inverter, and you got plenty of room to mount all your stuff around these 3 edges. These air lines are all in magnets. This one's got to go longer. I got extra hose for you, but you take me mounted on top. You can mount your small charge controllers up here if you want to use the small ones, or the 2 big ones will fit right here. Your charge controllers. That's 11 gauge steel on the roof. You can mount up there too, but everything can be crammed in here. It'll be tight, but it can be crammed in here. This pipe here, that's on this one hole. These 2 holes, I'll show you where they come up inside, but run your wires in and out of this one. This one's just made for air exchange. And the reason this here is on here, so in hot weather, you'll get chimney effect or convection effect. So the hot air will rise out where the wires come through, and the cool air from inside the RV, you got the AC on, will keep this box cool. But I'm not really too worried about that. The plan was for me to finish insulating this box on all 4 sides, and for the winter time have a blower fan hooked up to this thing. I'd shorten this and actually mount a fan on here, clamp this on so it stays, and that way there you can circulate warm out, because you can't freeze these batteries. But anyway, this is what I wanted to get done. It killed me. As a matter of fact, when I finished mounting this, I was actually incapacitated for 6 weeks. I had my back went out on me. I'm 62 years old. And I got to go for MRI this Friday. I got some crushed disc. But this is what I wanted to get done. I don't have the ambition to finish this project off. The back end of that is boxed off. That's where your jack shaft runs through for your slide. And the reason I had to make the grate tank for the kitchen go out the side here. You see that? I had to remount that. They had a pipe going all the way to the front of the rig, and it sort of sloped down. I don't know how they ever expected to drain properly. That pipe would always have water in it. It was actually a bad idea. So the kitchen grate tank has its own separate dump. And there's your valve for it. Anyway, we'll close that up. See if I can set this so you can watch it. I'll just grab that air line and shut this up for you. See if you can watch it. You push that button in, hook your air up, and it only takes 50 pounds of air to lift this up, so that small little compressor will work fine. So it's up, throw your 4 bolts in, you're all done. Once you have everything hooked up, you never really have to go in here unless something breaks. So you got 4 bolts that hold that shut, and there you have it. I don't know what else to tell you. Again, this rig has never ever been used. Oh, it's got a Winegard 360 on top with the router. Let me show you that. There's the router up there. Anyway, I'm putting it up for sale. I'm asking 60 grand or best offer. I want to get rid of it before winter sets in. But the price of these things new is just ridiculous. I'm losing a lot of money on this. A lot of money. And someone's going to get a nice rig with a lot of value. I put a lot into it. That doesn't look like much. But that was quite a bit of work under there. Quite a bit of work. Anyway, thanks for listening. Email me or give me a call, 920-809-6302. I live in Wapaka, Wisconsin, and it's possible I could deliver this to you. We could work that out. Again, my name's Ken, 920-809-6302. Give me a call. Have a good day.